So we'd like to share with you how we address poverty locally through a partnership between an academic policy and program researcher and a direct service agency. Our premise is at Life in, yeah, maybe you need to push right button. Back, yeah, it's next one. Life in poverty is complicated. It entails resource deficits in multiple areas. This is going to echo a lot of what we've heard so far today. No silver bullet fix will work, and in our work in this project, we try to test a community-wide kind of multi-level approach to connect poor young parents with a mix of resources and opportunities for themselves and their children. Research tells us that growing up poor harms children's health, emotional well-being, and mental health, and educational achievement and economic attainment, and that it can operate this can operate through multiple levels of the child's environment, from very intrapersonal and family processes to the conditions we've talked about. Todd especially this morning had us thinking about neighborhoods and how these can affect child well-being. And our point is that all of these operate kind of at the same time. And thinking about the concentric circle model helps us think about the pathways, and that we should be doing things at multiple levels when we do propose interventions and strategies, and that these things can have the simultaneous, interactive, and multi-directional relationships that we've kind of alluded to. The other thing that the model helps us, reminds us, is that social policies and programs typically target one level of the concentric circle or another, but we think we need to sort of focus on multiple levels in trying to be innovative in our work with families and kids. So, so this reminds us, using the famous Heckman curve, that you get the highest return on investment in human capital if you target the earliest phases of childhood, and that's another key point for us.
Okay, move over here. So to supplement some of the research that Sandy looks at, I want to share a few perspectives on poverty from where I sit as a service provider. And we're based in the community of Inkster, which is about 15 miles west of where we sit today. It's a relatively small community of about 30,000 people, but most of its profiles would look a lot like the city of Detroit. And our foundational work at Starfish is around early childhood, so what we pay attention to is that nearly half of the children under the age of 5 in our community are living in poverty. If we move to a family view of poverty, this is a drawing that's done by a mother who participates in our Family Success Program, and the exercise asks parents to draw a picture of their day-to-day activities in their life. And our group leader often calls this the wheel of chaos because there's so much focus on the day-to-day burdens of getting by that there's very little time to plan and conceptualize the future. And also, if one piece of the pie gets out of whack, it basically throws the whole thing into chaos. From a service provider's perspective, our greatest challenge in combating poverty is to move from a service and a funding perspective to a family view. And we think our best example of doing that is through the Family Success Program that we're going to talk a little bit more about. Is that you?
Right. So our program provides services and opportunities to promote family and child well-being in the seven domains that we outline in this slide. So we try to both provide services to encourage change in families in all these areas, and you'll see again that the different colors represent those areas and domains sort of closest, most proximal to the child's well-being, and the yellow ones are the areas of economic stress and distress that can influence family well-being, and we try to really do some things that affect all of them. So this is a picture of some of our program participants and our target population. We're starting small here to learn from things. We're serving, we hope to serve 100 low-income families with children age 5 and under. with these characteristics, and to qualify to be enrolled in the program, the parents need to rate themselves as being motivated or ready to change and to find new ways to cope with stress. So we start with that premise in the work that we do.
Is that you?
Yeah, this is you.
Okay. Well, just talking about what some of the program goals are, that we are trying to improve the trajectories of families across these 7 domains. We look at individualized family goals because every family has a unique set of circumstances. One may be around continuing education, one may be around childcare. So we're looking at individual goals, we're looking at economic gains, and we also look strongly at parenting skills. We think that our program is unique in that we're asking families, because we recognize the complexity of the issues families are facing, to make a 2 to 3 year commitment to us. We work with both individual and group interventions, and we incentivize our participation. One area that is new to our program that we're actively pursuing is around the idea of creating community bridges. So we've begun a group mentoring program to help create a broader base of supports for our families. We have a community board that includes families who've graduated from the program, community colleges, and we're also leveraging community assets like local banks to run financial literacy programs. We also have started to run poverty simulations because we think that part of fighting poverty is breaking down the silos between the haves and the have-nots. So this is a great way to engage our staff, our board, our community partners in understanding that wheel of chaos and the challenges that families are up against. I didn't know Dave would be here from McGregor, but we just wanted to acknowledge that private funding allows us to innovate. It gives us the flexibility to adjust our programs as we learn from our clients what they need and how we can best serve them, so we're appreciative of that.
So again, to sort of wrap up our final points, we start with early childhood and young families, and the factors that we try to consider in building steps to reduce poverty at the local level are, next slide, are that it takes a village, and by that we mean different levels of engagement, that we promote the communication across class divides and see that reciprocally, and also push the continuous learning and improvement. So thank you. Oh, next slide.